Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Wednesday Night Shooting. I am Tonya Rodgers here with Andrew M. Swift. Yay!
Yay.
Soon not to be the SmackDown Live reviewer.
Oh boy, oh
I
boy.
think pretty much everybody knows that by now.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I kind of leaned into this interview too, and I was like I was kind of baiting people a little bit, and people are just so not into SmackDown that nobody will even like argue with me in the comments. So I'm just like, ooh, well, it's time, I guess. Oh man, yeah, that's the thing that's happening.
So, because this was kind of like a nothing week, we're just going to go over Battleground. Then we're just going to like banter about whatever the hell we want. And like
Mm,
people in the comments ask questions. I see Caitlin has a couple of us lined up
mm,
for us already.
mm. Okay.
So
What's up?
let's just get into the Battleground. First of all, let's talk about the only thing on SmackDown last night that I was interested in, the Breezango angle.
Mm.
Apparently they're going to find out whoever has been harassing them and destroying their property at Battleground. Who would you like? Some people are saying that it's going to be Luke Harper and Eric Rowan.
I don't think it's gonna be them.
I hope it's not them,
I,
even though like yeah, Luke Harper needs to be on
Be on
TV, but
TV,
like
yeah. I think it's gonna
so
be Mojo doing it on its own.
you think they're going to turn him heel?
That's that kind of how it looks, right? Like that he's been acting like a total douche, which
uh,
is weird because like he had been such a good baby face in the last couple
yeah,
of months.
he was
You
kind of
know,
catching on,
he
so
was
like
kind of. I was kind of digging him as a baby face, but then Ryder came back and they were like, "All right, well, we got to do a breakup angle because this is what we're doing with every tag team now." So I don't know who else it could be, really. If it's not them, it's not Alpha. It's definitely not Gable. So I don't know.
yeah, I just hope it's something interesting, something fun, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm still debating on whether I'm gonna put my eyeballs to it live.
Mm-hmm. Boy, I tell you, I would not blame anybody if they did not watch the show on Sunday. I don't want to watch the show. I don't
Right.
want to watch it at all. Oh my God, no. Absolutely
So
not.
let's move on to Sami Zayn in a rematch from yesterday against
Is
Mike
that
Canales.
is that going to be on the card? I don't even know what's on the
I'm
card.
on
Like
the
I'm
I'm on
serious.
their I'm on the WWE website
Okay, all
reading,
right, okay,
so I don't. So this is they have it on the card. So
all right. Well, I gotta figure
I'm
that's there then.
I'm, I'm thinking like Sammy lost, so maybe he wins this time. I don't know. I don't know where they're going with that. I didn't pay attention to the match at all. I barely paid attention to SmackDown at
Yeah,
all. Though
I don't blame you. Um, yeah, I think I don't know. I think Mike's gonna win again. I think because they've done like the massive cheating once or whatever with Maria full on just climbing into the ring. First of all, her dress was a little short to climb into the ring the way she did. It was hiking up a little bit, so that they need to. That was a little whatever. Um, but yeah, they like Mike just got his ass whooped for like 5 minutes straight. It was like Sammy was winning in the squash basically, and then he hit the exploder in the corner and was gonna hit the luva kick, and Maria just climbed in and was like, "Stop!" Just like stop. The ref's like, "What are you fucking doing? Get out of the ring!" But like Sammy was like, "Well, I don't want to like run her over or whatever," so he's like trying to go around her, and she kept like walking in front of him, and then finally Mike popped up and hit this big, really nice looking right hand, and then hit his, I guess his Samoan driver finisher. So I think that was good. I think they're going to probably do another one of those, sort of like maybe drag it out a little bit more. Sammy's still on top big time, like clearly winning, and then Maria does some really underhanded shit and wins again. And then like a couple weeks from now, like maybe 2 weeks from now or whatever, Sammy gets another shot and, finally gets over on them maybe. I don't know. I hope they have something bigger for Sammy than that for SummerSlam. Like, definitely like that guy to have a real sort of thing, but I guess we're kind of getting close. Not only like 4 SmackDowns away, I guess, now from SummerSlam. So that's not a whole lot of time to build a big program. But I don't actually know what the hell anything is going on for SmackDown at SummerSlam. Like, it feels like the Raw scene is kind of like, you got a pretty good picture of where it's going. I don't have any idea where SmackDown is going, like, on anything, which is very strange.
Yeah, it is. It's like, who knows what's going on? A lot of multi-person matches, probably.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next match is Ty Dillinger versus Aiden English, which I am pretty fucking sure this was the kickoff match, like the last go round.
I feel like this has been a kickoff match for like 4 straight pay-per-views. I'm not even kidding. I'm not even kidding. It's been at least one, and I swear to God there's been 2, but maybe not. It feels like it has been, though.
I guess Aiden wins this time. Who knows? Who really gives a fuck?
I mean, they're getting a pay-per-view payday. That's what's happening. I literally don't care either way. I kind of like Aiden's character. Dillinger's character hasn't really been fleshed out at all on the main roster, but I kind of like Aiden English just going into the ring and like singing, and like his bit during the X-Files bit last night where he was just like warming his vocal cords behind the curtain. They thought it was a ghost. That was cute or whatever. So I kind of like his character, but I don't like when you put him with a guy like, oh, Sean, you're really doing this to me. We just got the email from Sean. I'm previewing the Punjabi prison title. I feel like that's a troll job. Oh man,
I'm so glad I don't have it.
That's some good shit right there. That's pretty funny.
I didn't check my email. Which one do I have?
The tag title match.
Oh yes,
New Day, and Usos.
He's like, just give her to Samoa and she'll be cool.
They haven't done anything in that program since the rap. Like, they have shut that program down since.
Yeah, they have.
And it's been noticeable too. Like,
It seems like they've shut SmackDown down.
Right? Smack is down.
We're gonna get to that a little bit later. So okay.
What were we talking about? I don't even know. The kickoff show match.
Talking about kickoff show match. Maybe Aiden English goes over this time.
Yeah.
We can go ahead and talk about, since we were already talking about it, the tag team champions. I think New Day is going to win it.
Yeah.
I do.
At the small pay-per-view, though? Like, with SummerSlam a month away?
I don't know, because they had Bailey win at the small pay-per-view with WrestleMania.
She's a woman. She doesn't count. They don't count.
This is tag team wrestling. They don't count either.
They count slightly more. Slightly more.
The only people who matter in the WWE at the moment are the big lads.
The big lads.
On Raw.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't know. It just feels like
it's time. Kind of.
Or maybe the Usos will like walk out again or something to that effect.
So then they have like a
reason to go to SummerSlam
with like a stipulation. Yeah, I can see that.
I definitely think
New Day are eventually
SummerSlam's probably going to be like a multi tag team match. I definitely think that's the SmackDown tag team division is definitely going to be like 4 corners. Throw all the tag teams we got out there,
Breezango.
And then maybe New Day win. Breezango.
I could put Breezango over in Barclays. That would give it a big reaction.
If only.
If only, right?
Great. That would be great. Because, like, they actually would need the titles, you know?
Yeah, it would help them. Yeah. The titles will not help New Day whatsoever. You know? They don't need them
and they
at
really
all.
don't help the Usos with their gimmick.
Yeah. They really don't. The Usos are already like king shit, you know? So
Right.
I don't know. I don't really feel like a title change is happening on Sunday in terms for the tag match. I don't know. I'm just not.
Rumor, yeah, you're right, because the rumor was that there are going to be no title
changes. Yeah. So boy, y'all really need to watch this show. Let me tell you.
It's very, very important. Mucho important.
Very important show.
Okay, let's move on to the next match, which is Charlotte Flair versus Becky Lynch versus Natalya versus Tamina. And that's it.
Here's the thing.
For some reason, it's a 5-way elimination match. I guess
you should have just ended it at Natalya. Like, if we're being, you could honestly, you maybe should have just ended it after. I don't know who you said second, Becky or Charlotte.
I have to include the winner.
Oh, dude, that cannot be the title match.
Tamina.
She cannot be in a title match in fucking
Somebody
Barclays.
made a comment that Tamina's music is kind of racist.
But listen,
it's a knockoff of her father's music, which was kind of racist. Okay? So consider where. So her music isn't actually racist. It's a tribute. It's a tribute to racism. I like it though. Tamina. I
think that was Trina that tweeted that last night, and I retweeted it. I was like, maybe it kind of might be actually.
It kind of might be, but it's a tribute to racism.
Yeah, I can see it. I'll buy it. I'll accept it. I'm down on
the
Tamina.
Racism was intended.
Yeah, back in the day,
but not with her. This is a tribute.
I'm down on Tamina because
I didn't pay attention. I'll go ahead with your Tamina thoughts.
She's been talking shit about tea time. I'm not on board with that. I'm not on board with. Well, I mean, I know everybody else hates it to death, but I enjoy it. So.
I don't hate tea time. Okay. I don't trust Charlotte in her intentions.
Well, you should never trust Charlotte in her intentions.
I kind of feel like tea time is a lie.
Ooh! Charlotte was mean to Becky. She's like, "Oh, I thought you wanted competition, Shane." And Becky was like, "The fuck you say?"
Exactly. So like,
she should have threw that tea right in her fucking face.
Right, but she won, which means she's not going over Sunday.
No, definitely not. I think that's the first. I'm pretty certain. I'm not entirely certain. That's the first time that Becky has ever made Charlotte submit. She's won on like roll-ups and shit before, but I don't think she's ever tapped her out. Not even in a tag match.
I don't think. If she has, I don't recall it. I don't recall Charlotte tapping out to anything but the bank statement.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. This could be a fun match. It also could be a total disaster. So we'll see.
5-way elimination match, yeah.
Yeah, let's move on to United States champion AJ Styles defends against Kevin Owens.
How is this feud so nothing?
Just the same way Kevin Owens' feud with Dean Ambrose was so nothing. Like, they don't give him a mic time. They don't give him and they have a beautiful backstory because AJ Styles' first match was the Royal Rumble, and who eliminated him for the Royal Rumble?
Kevin Owens.
Yes.
But they haven't mentioned that once.
And they could build off the animosity between them, like ever since he came there, and how Kevin Owens kind of had to struggle and fight through NXT and do all these underhanded things to get noticed, and AJ Styles was just ushered in on a little white horse. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. They didn't go there. Instead, it's like face of America bullshit. When you already have 2 other foreign heels on the show, or just like Canada's barely foreign. Like most people who listen to Drake don't even realize he's not American. Come on now. So it's like it's kind of stupid. You make the Canadian an evil foreigner too.
Yeah.
Like I could see if he was doing it like Bret Hart,
Right.
way, where it's just like I just fucking hate y'all people because y'all don't like me. But no, it's so uninspiring. And between these two, I don't know how this feud has been going on for months, and there's nothing of note
Nothing
between them.
They haven't cut like a single decent promo battle. They've cut like one maybe in the entire feud, and they've been feuding for like 2.5 months.
Yep,
it's insane.
It is, but I don't know. They're not trying with SmackDown anymore, except for with
really not trying with SmackDown.
No, they're not. So let's move on to the next match, which, like WWE is really trying to get me to like never ever find anything interesting, exciting about Baron Corbin. Because this motherfucker gets Sami Zayn, which was a feud that I wanted for Roman, and now he gets fucking my dream match with Roman, Shinsuke Nakamura. Like, what the fuck? And if this motherfucker goes on, which I kind of don't think he's going over.
He's not going to. He's Mr. Money in the Bank.
Yeah, because he's the Money in the Bank. Then I'll be good with that. But like, I don't even want the match to happen. But yeah, I say Shinsuke goes over.
Yeah. I hope it's like hard hitting. Like that's my only hope. But I don't really have a ton of high hopes for it. I don't have a ton of high hopes for anything on this show, in all honesty.
Nah, so let's just go on to the last match.
Oh boy. In the most wonderful way to wrap up my tenure. Isn't it though?
Right. It's the WWE champion Jinder Mahal defends in a Punjabi prison match against Randy Orton. And before we go into this, I'm going to say to the fuckamoo in the comment who wanted to come at you for making fun of the fact that Jinder was like, there are no rules, and then they list rules. No, motherfucker needs to be specific. If you say there are no rules, then there are no fucking rules. Okay? That don't mean no disqualification, because you can have a no disqualification match, but there are countouts. It's stupid. But you can't have that. When you say there are no rules, anything goes. Yep. So if you say that, you keep saying that, but then you have your minions go over the most convoluted rule. I stopped paying attention.
I literally didn't even write it. I literally put go read Rev's shit because I don't know what they said. I don't care.
It's something like, okay, you get to, there are 4 doors on the first cage because there's 2 cages, which, by the way, it's hard for the live audience to see through Hell in a Cells, which is 1 big cage. So you're going to obstruct their view with not 1 cage, but 2. Okay.
It makes for an impossible. It was difficult to watch a fucking promo.
Right.
What the fuck were they?
The first cage has 4 doors.
4 doors.
And those doors could be open once, if they tell the referee to open the door, it can open, but it's only open for a minute, and then it closes, and it'll never close again. Yeah. So there's a possibility that this match could break down into 2 heats of who can climb over the cage faster. I am so interested in seeing this.
How they structure this. It doesn't make the doors don't make any sense, because if the other dude gets out one of the doors, why wouldn't you just go out the opposite door? I don't understand. if he's out one side, he's not going to run around to the other side to stop. Like, it's the whole thing is kind of ridiculous. Like, is it going to be a thing where someone gets out of a door in the first cage, the other guy is still in there, and then like the guy on the outside plays defense and stops him from getting out any other door? What the fuck is this match going to be? This sounds like the dumbest possible match I can possibly imagine. Like,
right? It
seriously,
does.
this sounds like some fucking mid-90s WCW insanity shit they would do before the NWO came around and made that company good.
Right? So, of course, Jinder Mahal is going to go over.
Yep.
So,
no one cares.
Let's move on to these questions because I really want to answer it. Okay. First of all, to the commenter HJZ, who said, I think she would be great because she never, about AJ Lee, because she never did.
Wasn't she always like sexual?
She had 50-11 boyfriends, and her and Paige were almost lesbian lovers. So
yeah, weren't they like fucking on camera?
No, it was.
It might have been a little bit far. Yeah.
But okay, if AJ Lee were in WWE right now, how would she be booked? Is she gonna be divorced from her husband? Because that's the only way she'd be in WWE right now. But how would she be booked? Pretty much the same. And pretty much the same.
Yeah.
As she was booked before. That's how I feel. And it wouldn't be beneficial to anybody but AJ Lee.
Right.
Who are we kidding? She could say how she wanted to improve the division. She never did shit to put it. But like, who the fuck did she really put over?
She didn't put over anybody.
Not really. Like, she barely put Paige over.
Yeah, like Paige was like a last minute thing for the first title, and then she came back like what, a month?
Yeah, she was going on her honeymoon, and she came back and won the title back.
Yeah, like that the night she came back, right?
Yeah. So, we'll give an update on your fandom near the end of this show. The San Diego Comic-Con Women's Wrestling Panel. I don't know what that. Do you know what that is about? Because I have no idea.
Oh yeah. Oh, you haven't heard about this?
No.
This is gonna be wild tomorrow. So San Diego Comic-Con, there's a panel with the 4 Horsewomen and Nikki, and I think Brie too. I think she got added, and it's gonna be moderated by Renee Young. So that could be that you could get some interesting fucking answers out of that panel. That could be. I'm certain people will be live tweeting that and recording that and putting that up on the internet because that could get some interesting topics of discussion going tomorrow. I think, and I hope so.
I really hope they don't like say something that makes Alexa Bliss and Naomi hold the titles forever. Just watch what you say, ladies. Yeah. Like, Renee don't care if she at the door.
Right. Watch Renee just like come out with like really leading questions. Just like fucking. I love Renee. She's great, man. I feel bad for her. They treat her like shit. Yeah. They treat everybody like shit. But
right. That's why like people who are like. Sometimes they say, well, you're a Reigns fan. You should be happy. I'm like, oh, yes. He gets the best shit sandwich. Right? Yay.
Yeah.
No, that's not how life works. Okay, what's the next question? Will Asuka come up after SummerSlam? Hopefully, because she's an NXT act that's pushed, she never comes up. Because that doesn't really bode well on the main roster. She's gonna be like, she's gonna be a typical. She's probably, I don't know. I don't see Vince handling that well at all.
No. I can't wait till she comes out. Yeah, I can't wait till she comes out like the 3rd week and her like backdrop has been changed to like a giant Japanese flag, and she just talks in Japanese the entire time and says like "Boo USA." It's gonna be great.
No, her catchphrase. No, you don't, Vince. Her catchphrase is gonna be "Me love it long time," or some racist shit like that. Like, no, they say like she has other interests, and she's already up in the age where most Joshis retire. So if they call it, they say, Oscar, you're gonna be coming up on Monday. She's like, you know what? I retire. It's been a good run. Like, see, I'm so afraid for Oscar. The main roster is not even funny. Okay, let's see. Let's go to these next set of questions. What can they do to get SmackDown back on track? Uh, like whoever was writing in the fall, like write stories based like that, you know. But I like they got rid of talking smack, so I don't know if they're ever if it's the intention is to get back on track. Like I don't think Vince agrees with us that the fall of SmackDown Live last year was like really good TV because he's done everything he can to change it since then. So I don't know. Instead of Cena, who should gender face at SummerSlam? Uh, Nobody. Like,
Right?
you're the SmackDown guy. Like, first of all, what do you personally?
Am I though?
For now.
For now. For 4
What do
days.
they do to get it back on track, in your opinion?
Well, go back to what it was before, I guess, March, I guess. I don't know. Just write with depth and purpose and for long term and push better people and let your stars do star things and, do away with literally every foreign heel angle that you have. I don't care what you do with them. Just finish them and never do another one ever again, because the way you do them is so fucking cliche and tripe and embarrassing. It's embarrassing to be a wrestling fan when I watch that shit. And that's the sort of thing that I could never show like a friend of mine and be like, oh yeah, this is wrestling. Because they'd be like, why the fuck do you watch this trash? This is trash. And I'd be like, yeah, you're right. So do away with all that shit. I would say like do singles feuds for the women, but there's like 3-4 performers at best in the division who you can really work around with, especially since Carmella, who you can do stuff with, is Miz Money in the Bank. So like it's hard to you could have her in like a singles feud. Which she should be in a singles feud with Becky after Becky got screwed twice in both ladder matches by James Ellsworth. Like, they should be having beef, but apparently Becky has totally forgot that any of that ever happened, at least in storyline she has, which is...
Wait a minute. I'm sorry. I mean, I don't want to cut you off, but I'm scrolling through, and we totally forgot that flag match, and I agree. Fuck that.
Fuck that. Yeah. Right.
Continue.
Yeah. So go back to like singles feuds for the women. You could do like a Charlotte Natty. You could do Carmella Becky. Fuck, what's Naomi doing? There's not enough people in that division. Because you can't do anything that's really worthwhile with Tamina and Lana. The only thing you can do with Lana is exactly what they had Naomi do with her, is just have the babyface punk her ass out repeatedly again and again in more humiliating fashion. That's the only value she has to the division. She can't work. She can't talk. Her character sucks. Like, the only value she has is being geeked out to make somebody else look better. So yeah, so the division is just not deep enough. So, but even like 2 singles feuds or like 1 singles feud and like another like 3-way going on thing. I don't know, maybe like you could have Naomi, Charlotte, and Natalya being like a thing along with Becky and Carmella on the side. So that the stuff they're doing in like the tag division has been really good up until the last couple of weeks. Fashion Files is still obviously fantastic, but that's kind of what those guys that's the only thing they're doing with those guys now. Like they haven't had a match in like a long time. It feels like maybe since the last pay-per-view almost. I don't know. It's definitely been a minute though, and I'd like to see those guys get in the ring more. I'd like honestly to maybe expand those segments just a little bit. Like I feel you do a little bit more, like involving other people, like Aiden English last night. Like they do that stuff occasionally. That's always good, but I feel like you could use those segments to make it even more like an even more rich environment. Sort of like have people in the women's division play off against tag teamers or like men's wrestlers or whatever. Which is why that thing 2-3 weeks ago now when Becky and Sammy like had their little exchange with Daniel Bryan. When Brian was also there, like backstage, like that was great because you never see a male wrestler and a female wrestler interact unless it's like a mixed tag thing. You just never see them talk to each other, which is fucking weird. Like if they're on the same show in the same universe, why do they not ever communicate? And why does that not ever get shown? Like that's very strange.
It's because boys have cooties.
Yeah. Is it boys have cooties or girls have cooties? I don't fucking know. But,
well, I'm a girl. So
well, yeah, I know. Okay,
yeah. You know the best thing they could do though is to get the fucking main title off of Jinder Mahal.
Yeah.
God bless him, but it sucks. There's no way to fix it because it's him. He's mediocre. He is the definition of mediocre. Look in the dictionary under mediocre, and there's Jinder smiling at you like, "Hey, how y'all doing?"
Is that a before or after photo?
Probably both, goddammit. Okay, let's talk about American Alpha because everybody's crying and bitching, and this is probably where I'm gonna get my rant on, and I'm gonna call some people the fuck out. Most of y'all mad because they picked the black guy to be Kurt Angle's son instead of the white guy. And I'm not saying racism, but to a lot of black people, it's awfully suspicious when the assumption was that Chad Gable was his son. Most of Twitter and Smarks were okay with that. They were. Didn't see nearly as many complaints about it being Chad Gable. But no, it comes out as Jason Jordan. Oh, they just ruined American Alpha for this. All this whining and bitching and complaining. American Alpha wasn't doing shit. Nothing on TV. Vince did not believe in them. So you cannot make something happen that's not going to happen. If this gets them both on TV and Chad Gable seems like they might be featuring him on SmackDown, but he's tiny. He's a little baby. He's going to have to be extraordinary to catch Vince's eye. We all seen that gif of Jason Jordan bouncing around backstage at WrestleMania, and Vince is like, yeah, I like it. So Jason Jordan was chosen. Don't get salty about it because it makes people like me look at you sideways. Like, won't you just talk about how great it was if it was Chad Gable? So why is it different if it's Jason Jordan? What's different about?
What is the one variable here?
Yeah, what's the biggest difference between the two? So just like let it play out, folks. All I know is that this young man about to get a push, and I would rather see him get pushed over Jinder, Baron Corbin, Big Cass, Nia Jax, a whole bunch of people. Rather see him. So let's just see where they go with it first. before people. Oh, I hate this soap opera stuff. But you're all. No, you don't. You accept a lot of soap opera shit. You banter about it all the time. Don't be selective with it now. Come on, people. Come on. So that's all I gotta say about that. Just let shit marinate. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Okay, you got anything to add to that while
I thought it was gonna be as soon as like it was like a little illegitimate something. I thought it, regardless who it was, I think that's kind of stupid. But that's I don't know. It's just not my cup of tea because it's like Kurt Angle. Like I don't care about like a relation. Like maybe they'll do something cool where like, but I don't want to have them like turn JJ heel and be like, oh, I was using him, because then that gets into some really fucked up dynamics, and I don't want to go down that road with WWE. You know, I don't think they can handle that shit at all. So I don't know what they're gonna do with it. Maybe it's just I don't. It's not. I would have preferred none of this to have happened to like. Yeah, Vina makes a good point. Like, why was Kurt Angle like losing his shit? Like, why would like I don't understand why he would be so concerned that he was gonna like lose his job or whatever for something that was totally unrelated to his work. Like he had no idea.
I really do think that they were tossing around the possibility of Stephanie
and then
somehow being involved.
Nixed it.
And Triple H was like, no, the fuck, that is not happening. But I'm gonna tell you what we're not gonna do. So then they were like, they had the audible, but apparently this is all Vince's idea.
Which automatically makes me not like it. So,
and his ideas aren't the best.
They're not good. I can see ways that you might be able to do something cool with this, but I don't have any faith in the process to like produce anything worthwhile, instead of it just being like oh my god, it's an illegitimate son, oh my god, freak out, blah blah blah. Like
I just hope it produces something good for Jason Jordan, because the young man has worked hard and he's really into wrestling and he's been giving it his all, and it's kind of a double-edged sword because now it's out there that Vince likes him, so that means the backlash is coming.
Yeah, but like people liked him down in NXT though. People liked him in NXT.
He finna get picked apart. He finna get picked apart. You know he is.
That's true.
As soon as he gets Vince's favorite label, he finna get picked apart.
That's true.
Okay. So Marcel asks about Brock.
Who?
Brock Lesnar apparently is not going to resign again. You know, this same old shit that he pulled around WrestleMania 31 when everybody was, oh, he's gonna leave and go to UFC, and I'm like, if this is smart, he would be like, deuces, because you're gonna be back, motherfucker. Like, if this is smart, because he saw what the fuck just happened with Brock and UFC, it ain't gonna take that long. Deuces. Just have him put over who you want, which is Roman, and let him ride off into the sunset. Like, he done made enough money off of you at this point.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, it's probably not gonna go that route, and Vince is probably gonna shell out even more money like a dumbass. Like, I don't know what the fuck that situation is, but what I just want to see Brock put on some more bum ass matches before he leaves. Like, I don't care what happens after that. If he's staying or going, just go and let him. If it's true, just go and let him go. Let Roman go over him before WrestleMania. And let his WrestleMania match be against Braun or somebody. Who the fuck knows?
Or John Cena.
I don't know. Cena's for Roman, but
I can't. It blows my mind. I guess I do have to say something about that fucking flag match. It blows my mind that John Cena is back on the show, and it literally seems like it might as well be Aiden English and Ty Dillinger for like the level of importance that feud feels. And it's John fucking Cena. Fuck off. That's bullshit.
And then that promo he gave, it was just
God.
like,
What the fuck was that I swear to God, he was not told he was speaking until 5 minutes beforehand. Because he was just throwing shit out there.
I'm like, okay, John, look, I feel you on all of this, but I ain't really feeling all America fuck yeah right now. Right? And I'm an American, so I'm gonna have to let's let Bulgaria win. Who the fuck cares?
Right?
Like,
seriously.
At this point, like, honestly.
Yeah. I don't even know what we're talking about before. Brock Lesnar? I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah, Brock. Yeah, I think pretty much Vince is about to get played again. And if he does, like, get your money, Brock. That's all I'm gonna say. Like, ain't nothing else to be said. Like, it's all the proof is in the pudding. Yep. Like, yeah, when he's on and when he cares, that matters. But as we saw the last time, if he's gonna be doing WWE and UFC, he's not going to care about them at the same time. So it's kind of detrimental to whoever you put him in a feud with, for him to be like doing UFC stuff too. So I would just say, deuces, go. You're 40, you're on steroids. So good luck with whatever you're trying to do, and we'll see you in a year or two, Brock. I mean, it's not like we're gonna miss him. He barely shows up as it is. So It's like, it's whatever. Okay. What do you think about the possibility of Nikki Bella returning at Sasha's heel turn at SummerSlam?
Well, I'm not even.
First of all,
I'm not even.
First of all, WWE is not turning Sasha heel. All this merch they coming out with, and they gonna turn the girl heel. Bayley got a better chance of turning heel than Sasha at this point. Okay. And I would love if Nikki Bella came back. Maybe SmackDown women's roster can have a separate feud that's with some juice and some heat.
God, right now I'm imagining Nikki being back after SummerSlam, the episode after SummerSlam, still in Barclays, and then Asuka debuting against her, and they'd like fucking have a stare down. That would be fire!
Oh my God.
Oh, right? Holy shit.
Oh my God.
I can just see the smile on your face right now.
Great.
Yeah,
that
right?
So awesome.
Woo!
Oh,
I'm fanning myself off right now. Holy shit.
Why do you give me these images that are
these ideas that are not happening? I know. I'm a fucking monster. I'm sorry. Yeah, I hope Nikki comes back. She's great. I hope she brings. I guess Brie's not ready to come back, but I hope Brie comes back sometime too, since they'll both be on SmackDown.
The rumor is already that Brock isn't walking out of SummerSlam with the title, because you know who's gonna walk out with it? Brock. Okay.
Barclays loses shit if that happened. They'd fucking lose their fucking mind, and I know that because I'll be there. Hypothetically.
Braun Strowman is fucking ridiculous. You have two big badass Samoans whooping on you a week after you were in an automobile crash, and you put them both down.
It was 2 weeks. It was 2 weeks.
No, that wasn't last week.
Oh fuck! Was it? It was a paper. It was that Great Balls of Fire, wasn't it? Wait, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh shit! It was.
That was last week.
Well, that one extra day clearly.
Clearly
accelerated his timetable.
Clearly, like, I'm at the point where, like, fuck this shit. Like, get a gun and shoot his ass,
the motherfucker.
Yes, shoot him. Like, and people were like, Roman went too far. Obviously, he didn't go far enough. This motherfucker's back and beating up him and Samoa Joe. Like, what the shit? And people love it. You love it now because of who he beating up. Wait till he start treating Finn Balor and everybody else like this. See how much fuck you love it.
Like Finn will ever get a feud with Braun.
Oh, you're right. He's gonna be feuding with Bray Wyatt.
Bray fucking Wyatt.
Which, good God. I don't know if Nikki.
There's another bathroom break for Barclays, which God knows I'll need it since it's a 12-hour show.
Well, who would have thought Nikki and Miz were the heart of SummerSlam? Don't you mean SmackDown?
You mean SmackDown. Here's the thing. It wasn't Miz and Nikki, though. It was Miz and Alexa.
You think it was Alexa?
Mm-hmm.
Because they're just not letting her do it. Like, she crushed Bailey. And then after that, it seemed like they kind of cooled down on her a little bit. She's not even getting to talk.
No.
Like, she was coming out and destroying Bailey on the mic.
And now she doesn't even get talking time. Which, what the fuck is that? Like, I just can't even. Like, this should have been the can't even episode. Like, really. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I would say Alexa had a lot to do because Alexa felt like she never was a champ, never even had a takeover match in NXT. It was like she's girls out of nowhere. She comes up and all of a sudden she's spitting hot fire and she's getting this title shot. She's got the championship and it's like, all right, this is cool. This is like a new person getting elevated real quick. Like that's awesome. And she, was producing a ton of really good fucking television with Becky especially, and then Naomi. So yeah, I think she had a ton to do with it. Her and Miz and Brian like being there every week, definitely a big thing.
Yeah. So I'm gonna get into, like, I know some people are all into it, but okay, Seth Rollins with his bullshit ass apology. Okay, I'm sorry. Like, fuck you. Like, seriously, that's after 3 years. That's how you apologize to Dean. Like, okay, I'm sorry. What do you want me to do? Like, you know what I want you to do? Eat shit and die, motherfucker. Oh. Like, really. Seriously. And, oh, God. I always said I really don't care. Like, you reunite the Shield because I think they fucked up the breakup anyway. So I just love the Shield, so reunite them. But right now, I would be so against it.
Yeah.
So again, because I don't care what anyone says. Roman just seems so far beyond that shit. It's not even funny. And for people who were like, where was Roman at the beginning of the show when they got beat down? Where the fuck have Seth and Dean been when Roman was getting killed week after week by Braun? Nowhere. Why the fuck should he help them? Yeah. Like, it baffles my mind how, like, Roman is put to these certain standards, but Seth and Dean aren't. I seriously, I want them to put their hands in the little fist, and I want Roman to just look at them and clothesline the shit out of both of them. Seriously, he should be done. Like, when they come to me like, Shield, what the fuck is the Shield? I don't even remember that. Moving on, I got other things to do. Like, and really, for the Miz, Curtis Axel, and Bo Dallas, that's why they reunite.
Right? If you can't, if Seth and Dean, who are both former world champions, can't handle fucking Miz and Curtis or Miz, who's great, but with like two goobers, then that's bad news. That's like the fucking welcoming committee going over fucking Charlotte, Becky, and Naomi. which again was like the dumbest thing imaginable. Just having those geek heels win. Oh shit!
Right? It would be like the welcoming committee shit, wouldn't it?
Like
It
these
just
people are
doesn't.
so outgunned, you know.
It just doesn't seem like it's good enough. And people are like, "Yeah, save it for the club," and I'm like, "Are you shitting me?
Who the fuck are they?
They don't like they're fucking goobers too."
Right? Yeah.
No, Roman's above those motherfuckers too. Like, no, it should be something like really fucking big. I don't know what, but definitely not anything they got going on right now. Like, Roman should laugh. He should be like, no, that that's the period of my time. I'm not interested in going back to. You'll always be my brothers, but fuck off. I got other business to handle.
But
Or
I
something.
graduated college and you shits are still in high school, so I'm not hanging out with you anymore.
Thank you. He got big legs to wrestle.
Right? Big lads. Big lads. I thought, you know what? I was thinking, I just had this thought. I hope Seth and Dean actually become a tag team because I feel like they do an awesome program. Extended, super long program. Fucking 5 month, 6 month program with the Revival. And I feel like the Revival's intelligence will be able to structure those matches so that they're all fucking awesome. Because those guys are so smart at tag team wrestling that they'll be able to, if fucking Seth listens to them. Like, I feel like Dean would be more open to listening to them, but if Seth listens to them and does what they fucking say, those could be absolutely awesome. Like, that could be an awesome feud.
You absolutely, that's a wonderful idea because they don't have like they have the Hardys and that's it, and like everybody's beating up on the Hardys, so they do kind of need another credible face team.
I'm telling you.
Because they're like, are they gonna do Sheamus is out? No, are they gonna do the Club versus the Revival? I'm like, those are two heel teams, though. Like, I see how they might be going in that direction, but don't ask me to cheer for the Club.
Yeah, no.
At all, ever. Not those average savages. No. No. They're goons. They're AJ Styles goons, and that's how I will forever and always see them. But oh yeah, I would love the Revival to make fun of Dean and Seth forever. Oh, that would be great.
Right? Wouldn't that be
Wow.
fun?
Now I want to see this.
Yeah. I love how I just like throw ideas out there and you're like, fuck, I want to see this, and then it doesn't happen. And it's just like disappointing.
It is disappointing, but I mean, what can you do? Vince has his vision for things. And his vision is not the greatest thing ever. So
no comment.
Right?
Yeah.
So, there's not much else to talk about. Andrew, why do you come up with good ideas that WWE would never actually? He does it just to pop me momentarily, and then we both get depressed because it's never gonna happen.
Well, it's to pop myself too, because then I I run with that idea in my head, and I'm like, oh, this isn't all fucking trash. And then but then it takes like a week before I realize, wait, that's not actually happening. It's just what I'm imagining. My imagination is so good that I sometimes forget that most of the actual product is garbage.
So I kind of do think with the Universal title, it is like Braun they might actually put the belt on him, and his first program is Samoa Joe. Because from the interaction I saw on the Monday, I would love to see like a match where Joe can't be the bully. That would be great.
That'd be interesting to see that change of pace. Yeah.
And then like working with Joe is only going to make Braun better. And because I think that's where we're going, because Roman's going to get sidetracked with these two geeks in their Shield business. And then Brock's going to go. until Royal Rumble time. Well, see, the initial rumor was that he was going to have matches with like everybody who was in that fatal 5-way match. But I don't know if they see in Finn what the fans want to be seen. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think Vince is that into Finn like that. Like, I think he tried it, and then Homeboy got injured, and
And
he
then it
was
was
like.
it. Yep.
And by the way, the rumor is Vince hadn't been really at TV a lot. Then he comes last week and gets rid of the purple ropes and talking smack. He's probably like, "What the fuck?"
Well, the purple ropes was the right call. That was at least the right call.
I know, right? Like,
Yeah.
why were they doing that? But I noticed, and of course, I think they said next week or so, like a financial report is supposed to come out from WWE. So, I expect a lot of people to be cut. I'm still gonna follow Summer on Instagram even when they fire her because it's about to. They getting like if she survives another round of cuts, I'm gonna be like, for what? For why? You're not even you. Like,
Yeah.
she's saying I'm healthy. All I need is for somebody to tell me what to do.
They don't want to let her and Emma go because then they'll fucking talk to a journalist, talk to some journalist, and they'll fucking the shoots will be coming in our dreams.
And then like they're not using some of the talented women they already have, which to me doesn't bode well for the lot of women they plan on signing from the Mae Young Classic.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's just more women to sit in catering and rot while like 4 women get to work at a time. It's
Yep.
Is that like if Goldust is doing behind the scenes stuff, just have him do that. Like as much as I love him, he's really not adding anything new. I love R-Truth, but like you could cut him too. Like there are more people to cut than women that you barely even gave a chance to do anything. There are some guys who've gotten chance after chance after chance, and you still keep giving them chances. So, in a nutshell, I understand completely what you're going through, Andrew. Like if Roman hadn't been like stepping up his game majorly, I probably would be in the same spot that you are right now. You know, he's a man, so like, of course, my favorites are always going to get better opportunities than yours because you tend to favor the women and they're women. Oh, okay. Oh, this is what I wanted to talk about. Ryback.
Oh. Wait, I didn't even hear what he actually said. I saw like bits, but I didn't actually.
I saw like bits too, but the gist of it is that apparently the women need to be more sexual. See, this is my opinion. They need to be more sexual like they were. But like, okay, Maria was from the like Divas Only era and barely gets pops from the crowd. Nobody fucking remembers her. So like, I don't agree with what he's saying. I don't even think he agrees. I think nobody's been paying attention to him in a long time for the things he's saying. So he's like, oh, I know what get these marks all in a tizzy. I'll just say something about women's wrestling that's slightly sexist and I'll get all this attention. And he's just working people. People are talking about him. Congratulations, Ryback. Because like, look, all he does is pout about shoulda, coulda, woulda, how his career shoulda went and coulda went if this and that had happened. So who the fuck are you to give these women any goddamn advice? I did hear a little tidbit that he said women, the one thing women have over men, which is a lie, is their sex appeal. But have you not seen that more and more women are into wrestling? So by that accord, I'm gonna need these men to start shimmying and shaking their asses out there for my entertainment. Like if the women have to do it, so do the men. Right? I don't see it's not enough ass shaking and teasing me out there when they're working their spots, as he says. It's complete bullshit. These women are just as sexy as the other women. And sorry to break it to you, some people find women who are physically ass kickers to be quite attractive. Okay? Thanks, Ryback, but you're like the last person anybody should listen to on career advice, okay? I guess nothing to add to that,
huh? You kind of hit the point that I was going to say. It's like the men don't like shimmy and shake their ass or whatever because they have innate sex appeal because they're mostly attractive people in really good physical shape, like doing physical acts. And like the same sex appeal can apply for the women doing like the same thing that the men do, Like these are attractive people who are really in shape in their underwear doing physical things. Like either sex, that's going to be hot. You know what I mean? Like, so like the whole, they need to titillate, like be really overt with it is something out of a bygone era. And if you say that you're a relic of past times and your thinking, while unfortunately still exists and exists in very high levels of the company, eventually will be faded out for good.
I mean, the proof is in the pudding. Sasha and Charlotte drew their feud drew.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. And that's why in my mind it's just got to be let's work some marks and get some attention on myself. Honestly, because like nobody's trying. I kind of get what he's saying. Like they don't need to be sexless aliens.
Right.
And I don't mind the soap opera aspect of wrestling. I wouldn't mind having a female character who's a little flirtatious and uses what she has to get what she wants. But like that doesn't have to be the whole division. That doesn't have to be every woman. And I would say like some of like the sex appeal is definitely there. Like you ain't gonna tell me Alexa Bliss with them shorts. Come on now. She know what she doing. She ain't just wearing them shorts because it's sporty. You know what I mean?
No, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay, Andrew, you should act like you don't know what I'm talking about.
I have no idea whatsoever.
All I'm saying is I saw her in person.
I know. I knew you were going to say that. Yeah.
Sweet Jesus. Christ almighty. Whew. But at the same token, I like it may be some people may think I'm tongue in cheek, but some of these men could sexy it up a little bit. Like they could. Some of them they kind of sexless aliens too. So sex appeals works. It sells. It's like it's old hat. I'm just saying.
That's actually kind of true. The men are kind of like sexless aliens too. Like, how come nobody like winks at the camera or does like, like shit like that? How come there's no like playing off that stuff?
Thank you.
That is interesting, actually.
Okay. Huh. It's all homogenized.
Yeah, it's like all very sterile.
Men and women barely talk.
Barely talk. Yeah, that fucking men and women on Raw and SmackDown, and I guess NXT, but NXT is a 1 hour show, like whatever. And they even have some like interactions across things. But those Raw and SmackDown, like the women and the men on those rosters talk less than Mike Pence does with his female coworkers. Which is a double joke because Mike Pence doesn't even have female coworkers in the Trump administration, other than Linda McMahon. But
Is she really? Right? Is she really doing a job there, or like can we confirm?
Are any of them doing a job? I mean, like,
is she actually working?
I saw one interview with her once, so I know that, and she's been confirmed, so she's definitely there. I don't know.
Okay, well. Yeah. But if like on the larger scale, I do kind of agree. Like to go on the soap opera, like I don't mind. Like I know some people were getting on the Rusev and Lana with Summer. I kind of enjoyed it.
I like that angle. You can go back and I like that angle.
Except for the fact that Lana had like zero sexual chemistry with Dolph, and I don't know how that's possible because Dolph had sexual chemistry with like Vicky Guerrero. he has none with Lana.
None whatsoever.
Like, that was the only part of the angle I didn't like. It was like obvious that these like seemed like he called her ma'am at one point. I
don't know. Oh shit. I hope that's a shoot. Oh man.
But like if they kind of like had like send Big Cass to SmackDown and he's like what's looking at Carmella like what the hell what you been up to, what's going on, what is he doing here? I would be into that. I'd be like, oh shit finna get popping, because I don't know, people like WWE is a soap opera. That's how it's been ever since I was a kid, with like Randy Savage and Miss Elizabeth and Rick Rude spray painting Jake Roberts' wife face on his crotch and grinding and shit. Like I was into stuff like that because it's like, oh, let me clutch my pearls. What's going on? How dare he? It's like some real emotion. Everything can be about championships. It's not a real sport, and like the cat's been out of the bag. So the over-the-top stuff is fine as long as it's not overtly offensive. Mm-hmm. Like I even the Mark Merrow Sable line, like I don't know why everybody was so down on that. Cause Mark, like, as if Mark Merrill was like this can't miss prospect who was ruined because of it. No, he wasn't going nowhere anyway. But like the drama of the way he was treating her, and like you're just a trophy, and she fought back, and I'm like, and power bombed his ass. I kind of like that type of stuff. So if they could incorporate a little bit more of that in a good way, I would be down for it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm all down for it. Like, okay, the Noam Dar, Alicia Fox thing didn't work for me because Noam Dar triggers me in a way that I've not been triggered in a while.
Yeah.
Like how she does not like this guy. He's a creep. And then they have the nerve at the end of this like 15-year-long feud, he dumps her. And he's a fucking creep. And he was just using her all along. Like, what? Like, okay, who would be a perfect guy to do this? You could even, like, dust Dolph off and have him start flirting with Maria. There you go. There's a feud I would watch. Because at first she's like, no, I'm happily married. But, Dolph started to wiggling and around and stuff, and she started to looking. I wouldn't mind that. Just like when people were saying Maurice was kind of looking at Finn. Like, if that was a storyline, I'm cool with it. But that kind of stuff does kind of bleed on into real life.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Fine line to walk. But if you just take people who aren't attached at all and give them that storyline, I think it's fine in certain cases. but like the chemistry has to be there. So you actually have to pair up a man and a woman who actually have chemistry. At least the Fox was just eating scenery. She didn't have chemistry with nobody. She was just over the top, stealing scenes left and right. So that wasn't really a good example. And it's like to plop it in the middle of the cruiserweight division. I didn't think that was smart either. Like do it with some lower card guys first. Everything can't be about a championship.
Yeah, that's true. Like they have to have personal stories other than competition.
And and it's just like people are so quick to diss it, like, oh, they're fighting over a woman. Yeah, that never happens in real life. Like women never beef over a man in real life. I've never seen it. I don't know how WWE comes up with this bullshit. Like, it just that doesn't need to be the only image. There has to be more. I think it's fine if you do these things if there's an alternative to it. It can't just be the only thing going on. So
yeah, it's and like I get it in some sense. WWE is trying to is almost overcorrecting, but then in certain ways it shows that they like haven't actually learned the lessons. Like the rumor that came out that people backstage were not happy that some of the women in the Mae Young's Classic were not attractive enough or whatever, which we don't know if that's true or not, but the fact that we can so readily imagine it being true, it really means that a lot of these problems are not going to be solved until, I keep saying this, until there's a change in the guard at the highest levels and kind of a clean out of a lot of people in the old regime. Like,
I must be like the biggest pervert ever, because I'm like, who is not attractive enough?
Right? Who in that? Right?
Who are they talking about?
Seriously.
All those women are like knockouts.
Yeah, it's dumb.
What the? And let me see. And please don't tell me it's that. Like, see, a lot of people don't like Kevin Dunn. I don't really care. It's that other one. What's his fucking the one that's always on Total Divas? I can't stand. I don't like that motherfucker. And I think he's probably one of the motherfuckers saying that women aren't attractive enough with his fucking double chin, receding hairline ass. What is this? Is it Mark Carrano?
Mark Carrano, is that?
That's the motherfucker I don't like.
Yeah.
Him. And I could just see that motherfucker going down the list. Her. I'm like, motherfucker, you ain't never been camera ready a day in your ugly ass life. Oh, let me calm down. Ooh, child. I'm telling you, like, I just want to know, because I'm looking at all those women with knockouts. Like, I'm so excited. Like, people, I know it's not being released at the best. It's like 4 episodes at a time they're dumping out, but I'm gonna try to watch all 4, and I'm gonna do my best to support it, because I saw a lot of women that interested me, and some women. Oh my God, Nicole Savoy. Oh my God, I have seen her wrestle Timothy Thatcher. And it was a grapple fuck match, and it was brutal, and I fucking loved it. So like, and they say she's like a female Haas almost, and she's a really great heel. So I'm looking forward to seeing her. And then they were talking about the 4 horsewoman, whatever her name is,
Shayna Baszler.
Yes, they're talking about her, and like she's like the same type, and I just love to see like women horses that can kick ass and that are believably like, scary. I love that. So that's really what I'm going to be watching for. Yeah, I can get you little sweethearts who look like Renee Young and Natalia, whatever.
Oh, Tainara
Yes,
Condi or Condi or whatever.
I need to see ass kickers. I
Yeah.
need to see mean ass killers, and hopefully, apparently according to the spoilers, I'm going to get what I came for. So
Yeah, it looked like, I know, like the I have definitely had complaints about the presentation or whatever, but like from the spoiler reports and just the reactions, it looked like the performers, the wrestlers themselves, just tore the fucking house down. So I'm hyped as fuck to see that. I tell you what, like just watching, because I was doing something on the Thursday or last Thursday, when they were doing the walkout or whatever. So I didn't watch it live. I don't know what the hell I was doing. But then I watched it back later, and I think the first person was Dakota Kai, the former Evie or whatever, and she came out and she did her little pose gimmick thing with like the hand up, you know, and like she had such a big smile on her face, and she was like cracking because she was like so happy to be there, and it was just like, this fucking feels great right now, you know? Like I was like, this is terrific. So yeah, I don't know. So everything that we've heard on the internets about how it went is really fucking good. I still don't understand why they're waiting so long to release it and not running the finals at TakeOver. Like you feel like that would make a lot of sense, right?
but no, it makes more sense to run a match between some women the crowd has never
Never
heard of
seen, yeah.
or never seen after SmackDown. That makes much more sense.
In Las Vegas too. Like if it was in like Brooklyn or whatever, just like 2 weeks later or something, you know, or like Philly or something, or like Orlando perhaps, you know, if it was like a SmackDown in Orlando or, you know, somewhere in Florida like that, maybe. But Las Vegas is not like a particularly hardcore, you know, smart crowd that would know these women regardless. So it's very strange because you could have such a dope moment where like Ember wins the title, you know, and then or I guess you'd have the finals go on like to open TakeOver and have a dope fucking 22-minute, you know, 18-minute match or whatever, fucking tear the house down, people lose their shit. And then later on, Ember and Asuka tear the house down. They have a great fucking match. Ember goes over, wins the title, and then you have the fucking winner of the tournament come out and they have a stare down. What the fuck?
That would be
great. Why are you
great.
not doing this?
Because apparently Stephanie's involved and she should stick to her day job.
Really should.
Of branding and marketing and stay the fuck out of like the wrestling affairs. Like just because you have a vagina does not mean you have to get involved in women's stuff. Like every woman is not a woman's woman. You know what I mean? And that's fine. That's okay, Stephanie. You don't have to be. Just like, and like, I understand the flack completely. Like you were fine with all this diva shit. So stay the fuck out of the way while your husband makes progress.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Oh yeah, we forgot about Becky getting into it on Twitter with Cyborg. Do you think that's gonna like
no, that's
pan
not
out?
That's not a thing.
You think
just...
you don't think
yeah, right. Like they're gonna get fucking Becky Lynch's singles match at SummerSlam. Come on, folks. Is she Charlotte? If she's not Charlotte and she's not even Sasha, no, it's not happening. It's cute, but it's not a thing. I'm sorry. They're just trying to drum up some interest. Which will end up with everyone being blue-balled because they won't get what they want. But, you know,
yeah,
that's WWE. So, speaking of, I don't know if you saw this today. I saw an article on Twitter that was like, I'm gonna fucking blow this shit up. It was all about how WWE changed away from the Divas moniker, right? And all right, so headline: how social media got WWE wrestling to ditch the term diva. Now, how social media, oh God, that video auto played and triggered me because it was Steph. How social media got WWE wrestling to ditch the term diva. The lead is, you can thank social media for changing how World Wrestling Entertainment portrays women.
Really?
That's literally the lead of this article.
But motherfuckers been complaining about divas on the internet for over a decade.
So then they go back into, they do the story about, you know, first of all, they give a thing about, like, Steph gives an explanation about why they were referred to as divas in a nod to larger-than-life personalities like Soul Singer or Aretha Franklin. And it's like, are you, like, the way that this article, I just posted it in the comments in case anyone hasn't read it. The way that this whole article is just like, it's saying, look at how new media, social media, made WWE, the brand, evolve. And it takes literally every shred of agency from the current female performers. Literally none of them are mentioned in this article. It mentions Lita, who is there to introduce the new championship, but it didn't even mention who was in that title match at that fucking WrestleMania. It's symptomatic of WWE, how they treat their talent, and especially how they treat their female talent, but it's just how they treat their talent as a whole. And, like, people always talk about, you know, the brand is the star. Like, we want to make the brand the star. Like, that's our new philosophy or whatever. And, like, it kind of seems like that it's a real philosophy. But I was thinking about this today when I was reading this article, and for some reason, I don't know why it's taken this long for me to, like the light bulb to go off. But I thought about it for a second, and I was like, oh, there's a big fucking reason they want to make the brand the star and not any stars. Because they don't have to pay the brand more money. If the brand gets super over, the brand is just making money for the company. If a star gets super over on their own, they get more money. They get to demand more money. They get more power versus the company. And so, like, this whole brand is the star philosophy is a very deliberate anti-labor strategy on the part of the company to keep its talent in a lower position, in a less leveraged position against the company. It's part and parcel of how this company treats its performers. Like, we all know how bullshit it is, the independent contractor shit. These people are not independent contractors. Let's be very clear. If they were independent contractors, they could go work in fucking
wherever they wanted.
Yeah, they could go work wherever the fuck they wanted. That's not the case. This is not an independent contractor situation. This is, if anyone actually cared enough and had the money to do a lawsuit, you could fucking eliminate this company's, like, labor practices real quick, because they are in clear violation of what an independent contractor is. And I've been an independent contractor in many times in my life. Like, there's very clear rules that have to be followed, and the company is not meeting them even close. So what this company wants out of its performers is to get every last ounce of sweat and blood and tears and to put that on TV for the audience to see, but they don't want to give anything back to the wrestlers themselves. They want to keep it all for the family, for the corporate, you know, stockholders, all that jazz. It's a company that is utterly soulless and is preying on people's love of this entertainment form, both the fans, because we just want to see the wrestlers do cool shit, and the wrestlers themselves who grew up as big fans and now are willing to do shit at the expense of their own well-being for, you know, comparatively minuscule pay in terms of proportionally what the performers get versus, you know, profit and revenue as compared to athletes in other sports.
And so they need a lot more Kevin Nashes.
Yeah, they need a lot more Kevin. They need a lot more Kevin Nashes and a lot less Marks. Or they just need somebody in the locker room to be like, you know what, guys, we need to form a union. Because I tell you what, the day that WWE wrestlers form a union is the best day in wrestling history. And I don't think there's a question. I think that is undoubtedly true.
They need to watch out.
Yeah, right. We watch a product.
Locker room's kind of close now.
Right? Yeah, exactly. We watch a product that is so backward and awful in so many ways that when the product itself is not doing it for one of us, you know, it kind of gets to the point when you're frustrated, and then they've made it so that the reality era, you're just as big as fan of the performers as you are like the characters themselves. So it's like double when you're frustrated with the characters and performers, like how they're being treated. They grind the hope and joy out of you. And my cat is losing its shit right now. Stop. And that's kind of where I'm at. That's this has been building for me for some time now. And you know, it's been, I tell you what, when I got back in, I had such great fun, and everything was exciting, and you know, I was in for a reason, and things were looking like they were changing even slowly, and it felt like the world was moving slowly away from Vince McMahon. And then, you know, with the amount of bullshit that still happens in this company to this day, and just the ass backwards creative constantly for basically everybody in the company, it just gets to a point where, you know, probably a year ago, probably like 10 months ago or so, I was probably just like, man, I kind of want to give it a break. You know, I'm kind of tired of this. And like, I'd skip a Raw here or there maybe, you know, or I'd like just watch parts of Raw. And, you know, and so the old joke of people being like, oh, you'll come back, you'll still watch, see you next week or whatever. People don't quit something they love immediately. It's a process that takes time. And because you want to see something you love improve. You want to see the best version of it. You know, you want to see it do better or be better. So you're willing to give it lots and lots and lots of chances, and you're willing to accept even half small measures as some signs of progress and for reasons to continue on. But it just gets to a certain point where it just gets tiring. Like you just start losing. It's just no longer, like, the things that were fun before are no longer as fun, or they're fun, but only for a very brief, you know, moment before everything comes crashing back down to reality. And, you know, I'm certain everybody that's listening right now has gone through this very same I know you have, very same process with wrestling, probably more than once in their lives. But I'm just at a moment where it was earlier this month, and my cable bill shot up like 50%. And I was like, you know what? I don't really watch a whole lot of TV, like on cable or whatever. Like, I had various like streaming, you know, shit or whatever, and, you know, parents' accounts from their TV, so I can just stream network shows that way. I was just thinking, you know, why do I need to pay like an extra $50 a month or whatever, you know? Like, what?
Wait a minute, that's all your cable bill is?
Well, no, that's how much it went up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Continue.
Yeah. No, if that was all my cable bill, holy shit. Yeah, that's not possible. Yeah, if
I was about to say,
who the fuck are you quitting? Get the fuck out of here, right? Yeah, seriously. Get the hell out. Yeah, so, like, you know, I've been losing interest in the product and the review, especially like the decline in quality in SmackDown has really hurt, because I have to stay up, you know, I had to stay up every Tuesday until 1 a.m., you know, writing 2,000 words, so that by the way, for no money, on a 2-hour deadline, so that then people could, call me a snowflake and an SJW and shit like that. So believe it or not, that shit gets tiring.
Mm-hmm.
So that gets tiring. So when you add all these things together, I came to a conclusion. And earlier today, I called Comcast and I said, you know what, guys, all I need is internet. You can cancel my cable. And I'm bringing the cable box back this weekend to the Comcast store, and I'm no longer going to be a regular watcher of Raw and SmackDown. And I don't say this gleefully by any means. I think you can all tell that my tone of voice is not happy about this change of events, but I'm just at a point where it's not worth it for me to continue on as that sort of weekly watcher of both shows, And then I got to thinking, boy, I tell you, I've got a whole bunch of, I got a lot of tickets coming up next month for shows in Brooklyn, and I'll go to all those shows unless somebody buys my way overpriced tickets that I put up for sale and stuff up. But boy, I tell you, if that doesn't bring me back, if that doesn't really get me going again, then the network starts looking like it might be another casualty, because there are ways on the internet, if you really want to watch a show.
Yep.
There are ways to find it. And if they're not making it worth your time and effort, and just thought process to put in all this shit, then it's just time. And it's sad. And it's not really something that I wanted to have happen, especially because this Monday, Raw is in Washington, D.C. at the Verizon Center. I said last week I work literally 2 blocks from the Verizon Center, and I haven't even looked at tickets. And it'll be July 24th, 2017. And if you go back 1 year to the day, July 24th, 2016, was Battleground pay-per-view 2016. And that was Bayley's main roster debut. And that was probably, honestly, the best wrestling moment I've ever seen. I put that debut as being more exciting and more amazing than the actual TakeOver match in Brooklyn, because it was something that everybody in the audience deeply suspected was happening and desperately wanted to have happen, and then it did happen, and it was just this glorious fucking moment, this culmination of so much stuff that we had seen in NXT and on the main roster up until that time, and it just felt so wonderful. And then immediately, right away, the next month they have her come out in Barclays, but she's introduced by Mick Foley, and she's coming out as the hottest free agent, and they already are showing that they don't know, the main roster creative doesn't know what NXT does well, and they don't know how the characters in NXT got over. Not everybody is Sasha Banks, who can get people crazy into any one of her matches because she's just that fucking good of a performer and that fucking charismatic. She's an all-time tier charismatic performer, and I don't think people recognize that quite just yet. She's 25 years old. 25 is super fucking young for a wrestler, especially for a women's wrestler, and to have already made the mark she has is just extremely impressive. But Bayley's not like that, and and I poured so much time and hours and words into writing up this girl's story and developmental, and then just to see it's just been such a mess. And it's been, honestly, that's been harder. I don't like Bayley's not, I like Sasha more than Bayley. I don't think that's a surprise by any means, but it's hurt to see what has happened to Bayley more than it hurt ever to see what happened to Sasha, because Sasha, you could always just tell that she'd get herself over. You can just tell. But Bayley needs a little TLC along the way. And the fact that they can't even do it with someone who is getting a fucking Austin pop like for a surprise debut, and just immediately just start, you know, grinded into the dust to the point that now we're just like want her to almost turn heel if necessary. It's just that just grinded all the hope and joy and love and hugs out of me, I guess. I don't know. And I've been rambling for a while, I know, but this is kind of the process. Like this is how, you know, we process our feelings as humans. Like we see things and react to them and think about them internally. And for me, at least, like writing especially and talking, but definitely writing is like how I express like my opinions most forcefully. And it's honestly, my writing is a lot of internal dialogue with myself, which a lot of people, I mean, nobody should actually get that, but a lot of it is actually internally focused as well. But just seeing like so much go to waste, it feels like, you know, I don't know. I don't get what the point of continuing on anymore is. And that's not to say that this show is dead. Like, this is definitely not the last episode. We'll definitely have next week. And I still think we should give it a shot going forward, just to see if I can hang around just on, you know, YouTube clips and recaps of whoever's writing the recaps and figuring out what's going on.
And because you love me.
And because I love you, of course. Exactly. Just some day one-ish. But I don't know, guys. This WWE is in a weird time right now. But for me, they're just not changing fast enough. And it was always, I guess, like a march against time, like how much I could love WWE versus how much I have always loathed Vince McMahon and his philosophies on life and, you know, in creative processes. And I've never seen eye to eye with him on virtually anything in terms of wrestling or, you know, life in general. So, and I'm just at a point where the enjoyment is not enough. It's just not enough for me. And it's a big fucking bummer because some of these fucking performers, like, I adore to fucking death. Like, absolutely, like, they pop on television or they fucking pop on Twitter or whatever, and I'd smile. Like, they make me smile. And that's what this is supposed to be like. But too much of my fandom now is just spent being frustrated and disappointed, and it's not worth it. And, you know, if anyone else is undergoing the same process, then, you know, don't listen to people when they're like, oh, you'll be back, you know, oh, you know, you're just saying that or whatever. And don't think that you can't say, you know what, don't think that you can't be extremely frustrated and express that frustration with the product over a long length of time. Because that's a natural thing. Like, don't think that you have to be one way or the other. Like, a lot of us are very ambivalent about WWE. And for me, wrestling is WWE. So, like, I know people are like, watch Progress or, you know, watch more indies or whatever, watch New Japan. But, like, for me, wrestling at this point is WWE. I mean, back in the day, I was a WCW mark. But, you know, that was because NWO was hot as shit. And WWE treated Bret Hart like crap. So, I don't know. I've just been talking for like, I don't know, 15 minutes now, babbling about shit, but it's hard. It's hard to be a wrestling fan in 2017, and it's hard to be a WWE fan in 2017. And I'm at the point where it's over, I guess. I don't know. It's over for me.
Trust me, I've expressed how it's always been hard for me to be a WWE fan,
right?
Even as a little girl. So don't feel bad. And I also agree. My whole life, even though I was crazy about ECW and I did watch WCW, wrestling has always been WWE for me as well. So, anything else you want to add? Because I just want to.
Not really, I guess. I don't know. Battleground is my swan song farewell as the SmackDown Live reviewer, which is, hilarious that this pay-per-view is the pay-per-view that the year before I went to, like I just gushed about, you know, which I had such an amazing time at. And there's 3 foreign heel gimmicks going on, and the main event is a fucking Punjabi prison with a foreign heel gimmick that's a fucking mess, and a xenophobic mess. So I don't know. It seems very appropriate. It seems like it's all kind of tying in nicely, and especially when you add in like SmackDown Live started feeling like itself when Talking Smack kind of started getting going and underway and like getting hot. Like that's when the brand really started to take off, and that's when I really started to identify. Like I came into the brand split, and I was kind of like bigging up the blue brand, and like, but that was just because I was the reviewer, and you know, after the first week of the brand split, I was like, fuck this show, whatever. But then they turned it around, you know. But beforehand, I was like all big, oh, SmackDown's gonna be, you know, so much better. But I was just trying to big up my show. I was just trying to big up my brand, you know, to draw maybe a little interest and clicks in my articles. But then, you know, Talking Smack got going, and SmackDown Live felt like it had its own identity. It felt like it was going, and then just the sudden acts of it, it was just like, that was kind of like a moment, especially when it came out that Renee and Brian weren't told. There's just kind of a moment where it's like, you know what, anything good that you like in this company can be wiped out in any given second just because of a fucking whim from an out-of-touch 71-year-old. And it's like, do you really want to be investing a lot of time and energy and love and passion in something where that's the case? I don't know. Just ask yourself that. And since that's a really disconcerting notion, you should also go ahead and give yourself a hug tonight.
Bye-bye, people.